The big news coming in at this hour, Union Minister Mukhtar Abbas Naqvi has resigned as the Minority Affairs Minister. He submitted his resignation to the Prime Minister, and this comes a little while after he met Party Chief JP Nadda, and a day before his Rajya Sabha tenure is to expire. Let me go across immediately to Sanket Upadhyay to decode this for us. Sanket, does this pave the way for him as a nominee for the Vice President?
So, two things that have happened. Number one, no RCP Singh from the JDU. He did not get a nomination from the JDU and he was part of the Union Cabinet. And no Mukhtar Abbas Naqvi because his term ended and he did not get a renewal in the Rajya Sabha. So, what is commonly understood, which is visible factually, is the fact that his Rajya Sabha term was ending tomorrow. And because it has not been renewed, this basically means that he could not continue in the Council of Ministers because he is no more a member. So, in that sense and in that context, his resignation can be seen as significant. Must also tell you that he and Mr. Rajnath Singh were the only two ministers of the Vajpayee legacy who were still there in the Narendra Modi cabinet, and now he too has resigned. Now, that is something which can be a common understanding of the way things are. But, of course, all of this is happening amid buzz that Mr. Mukhtar Abbas Naqvi could be elevated to the position of the Vice President. However, when we say that, we must also add a health warning and a rider that what appears very obvious in this dispensation in the Bharatiya Janata Party quite often is not the case. The BJP is very, very prone to, it has a known propensity to surprise and shock individuals. For instance, Mr. Devendra Fadnavis and his demotion and the elevation of Eknath Shinde. Who thought that this was a strategy being worked on? Then also the candidature of Draupadi Murmu. Yes, it was being speculated that it could be a tribal, it could be someone else, but for there to be a tribal woman as the presidential candidate was something which was not commonly or popularly known. So, in that context, given this history of the BJP to indulge in shock and awe, it does feel surprising if this will go ahead. However, this resignation has happened with a series of meetings and very hectic meetings that took place in the national capital. Mukhtar Abbas Naqvi, a day ahead of his term expiring, first met JP Nadda, the party president. Now, this meeting is very significant. If all he had to do is resign from the Union Cabinet, then he could have gone and met the Prime Minister straight and offer his resignation. But in this case, a meeting happened with the BJP president, which means that the party that he represents, there was clearly, some sort of a strategy to which he was operating. That is how the BJP usually functions, also in a very cadre-based, organized way. So, is there a possibility that the Bharatiya Janata Party could be looking at Mr. Mukhtar Abbas Naqvi for the position of the Vice President? It will be a very, very significant decision if that one is taken, because as you all know, the BJP is drawing a lot of flag for the Nupur Sharma comment, and many members in the Muslim community have not taken these comments kindly or the response of the BJP ever since. This led to a huge diplomatic standoff also, but the BJP as well as the government would want us to believe that most of it is behind them. Given all these things, could this be an attempt to perhaps reach out to a community which is usually seen as not sharing a very pleasant relationship with the government? So, lots of speculation. But amid the speculation, Maha, the news is that Mr. Mukhtar Abbas Naqvi, whose term is expiring tomorrow, has resigned from the Union Cabinet.
Sanket, if we start joining the dots, he was the only Muslim minister in this cabinet. The fact that he's risen up the ranks, he started off as a spokesperson for the party. That's when he got noticed. If you put all this together, along with the fact that he wasn't even given the ticket to contest the by-polls from Rampur, it does appear that there's been a pattern which suggests that there could be something better in the offing for him. You are saying it's too early to guess, as well as
the fact that... Do you want to risk it? I don't.
Yes.
It's very difficult. Like, for instance, all those people who stuck their neck out and said that Devendra Fadnavis will be... Because it was a very safe assumption to make. One never thought that Devendra Fadnavis will have to go for a demotion. It was not something in sight. and yet it happened. So the BJP does believe in taking decisions that are extremely pragmatic, or they suit their purpose. So does Mr. Mukhtar Abbas Naqvi's candidature or elevation as the Vice President suit the BJP, and will this decision be so obvious? That is something that we'll have to wait and watch. However, of course, to be the Vice President or the Vice Presidential candidate, the prerequisite is that you are nothing else. So in that context, him not being part of the Union Cabinet, him not being a member parliament, could definitely make it appear as if Mr. Mukhtar Abbas Naqvi could be looking for occupying a higher office. But there could also be a possibility that this could very well be the end of the road for Mr. Mukhtar Abbas Naqvi, at least in the Union Cabinet, a very active form of governance in the Modi government. So one really does not know. The factual position as of now, Mr. Mukhtar Abbas Naqvi has resigned. He has resigned because he could not continue as a minister because his term as a Rajya Sabha member is expiring tomorrow.